Welcome. It's Johnell. This is my guy Matt Price Cashwalk, and this is Heat Check powered by Designated Report. We're recording a day later because yesterday I did shoot the UConn women's basketball game down at
Yes.
St. John's in Queens. And bro, when I tell you it should be a 2 hour ride from where I was at
Ain't
to
no way.
Queens. Bro, when I tell you I sat in traffic for
Ever.
probably
It's
45 minutes
crazy, yo.
in Hartford, I didn't get to the game until halftime. I was
That's
livid.
wild.
I
Oh
was
my
so
God.
mad. I was so mad.
That's crazy, yo. Yeah, I'm
So
telling you, man.
yeah, yeah. And then the weather on top of it, just not. I'm not loving it. I need spring soon.
Not a fan. Not a fan. I need spring, exactly. I need warm weather. I need to put the coats away. Already over it. After the holidays, there's just no point.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And even there was a while. So like, I do love a good snowstorm.
Yeah,
I think that's born out of like school.
yeah,
Like you get a snowstorm, you stay home from school, you don't have to do anything.
yeah.
And there was this misconception for a while. People would press me like, yo, like you love this weather. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm
Yeah,
freezing. Like, if it's gonna be cold, then snow. But if it's not gonna snow, then
then it's just cold. Yeah,
let's just speed this thing up. Let's get to spring and
seriously.
give me 65 to 73 and I'm good.
That's it.
I don't need 30 degrees.
No, or
18
below
degrees.
30.
I
Like,
saw I saw you were tight the other day on your story. You're like
SMH. It's
you're
18, bro. Don't tell me it's 25, but it feels like 18. If it feels like 18 and it's 18, what are you talking about? Like, that's crazy. That's just the games they play during this time. They do it during the summer, too. They're like,
they
oh,
do.
it's 89, but it feels like 96. Then it's 96 if it feels like it. What are
Like
you guys talking about?
I mean, and we might come off real dumb. We don't know.
I don't
But
know.
like
If you're a
what's the
meteorologist, I don't care. It's do
what's
right by
what's
us
the
and tell us,
science?
yeah,
What's the
exactly.
science? What's the
They're like,
math?
well, with the wind gusts, it drops the temperature, but it's only in the time where the wind will like, shut up.
Okay,
It's cold all the time. It's
so
cold.
if the wind is blowing,
Yeah.
I
Which
need
is
I need
blowing all day.
I need to know worst case scenario.
Yeah,
So if you're telling me when the wind blows it's
exactly.
18, then
Then
in
say
my
it's
mind
18.
it's 18.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that you
That's it.
validated that point
That's it.
because it's just crazy. It's crazy what they do. Like, what's the science and what's the point of like trying to lighten the blow of how freaking cold it is?
Oh no, it's not actually 18
Yeah,
most of the time.
you could go to
It's
work.
actually 25, like bro, no, it's
Yeah,
18
you guys
degrees
working
and it's cold.
outside, just bundle up. You'll be all right.
We
There's
need
dudes cleaning windows at my job right now, bro. It's got to be the worst job in America right now.
I would
All the windows in that I don't even know how many thousands of square feet building, 3 floors all the way around. Like I said to my facilities manager, I said that's evil to even schedule this. You couldn't wait till summertime, like or spring.
and I understand that they're getting paid for it, but
Yeah, not enough.
I might have to politely decline. Like, hey, I know the windows are dirty, but we're gonna have to hold off on these.
Dude came in the other day. He had like a stack of them ramen soups, yo, and he just came in, put them in the microwave. Yo, he came out. Them things was steaming. They ate them in the van. Like I was like, see,
Yo,
he had to come and get some coffee. I was like, I know y'all cold
do
out
what you
there.
gotta do. Do what you gotta do,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Um, let's get into it. We are in the throes of just a lot of NBA talk. There's speculation. The trade deadline's coming up. Shortly after that, we've got the All-Star game. So this is, I mean, again, we've talked about it a bunch on this show. A
Oh, for
lot of
sure.
people see Christmas as the start of the unofficial start of the NBA season.
Absolutely.
And now that we're into January, we're moving into February. This is when things really start to ramp up.
Yep.
And then particularly after the trade deadline and after the All-Star game, All-Star break. Um, One of the teams looking to improve their roster and hopefully improve their record in the standings are the Phoenix Suns. Uh, they made a trade with the Charlotte Hornets
Yep.
to acquire Nick Richards. And this is all per Shams, our boy.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I believe right now the Suns are 12th in the West.
11th after last
11th.
night. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. After later, 19 and 20.
Below 500. a team with at least two superstars on it. Bradley Beal, you could take him or leave him.
Yeah.
Um, but is this enough to fix some of the issues in Phoenix? And do you potentially see another move at some point to try to get them over the hump, get them into the playoffs, and hopefully making a playoff run?
I think that it's a good start. I think that we know they sat Yusuf Nurkic because he was just not producing for them on the defensive end of the floor. So Mike Budenholzer had to try to find another alternative, and he'd been playing a smaller lineup. They were getting killed in the paint, getting killed on the boards.
Yes.
Because I think their leading rebounder, and I was trying to pull it up here, but I don't want to make everybody wait. But I think their leading rebounder is like Durant, and that's not
I
like his
believe it is.
game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's not his game to get in there and be banging around and grabbing boards. Like he could average 5, 6 a game, but that's not particularly his style. I think he's playing out of position right now. So Nick Richards, he's a young, athletic, big who's good on the defensive end. He could catch a lob. He's not gonna explode for 30 points or anything like that, but he's gonna give you some good solid minutes. 12 to 15 minutes off the bench. I'm not sure if Budenholzer's plan is to start him or not, but yeah, like I think that it's a good start. They still need some help on the bench and getting some wing players as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
But I think it's a good start for them to just get some length, get some paint protection, and try to just like stop the bleeding of the paint, scoring that's happened to them. They're just giving up easy buckets all game long. So
So
hopefully this can help them out defensively.
yeah, I mean, and I do agree with that. He's a good player.
Yeah,
He's not somebody who's going to drastically move the needle.
yeah.
He's a good player, like you said. He'll catch a lob. He can offensive rebound, get a putback. I want to say he's averaging like 8 points, 9 points a game, or something like that. It's
Mm,
nothing crazy. And I don't think the Suns are looking for scoring from that position. Like if they got somebody who could grab 12, 15 rebounds a game, be a force defensively and then give them 12 a game, they would take it. But
hmm.
the 8 points, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah,
Um, my thing with the Suns, and we talked about it initially with the trade, especially for Bradley Beal, is they sold out for a chance at a championship, or what they thought was a chance at a championship. And the Bradley Beal move felt strange to me in the moment,
hmm.
but I think the biggest issue with that is the 50 million a year contract,
Can't move that.
the no trade
Definitely, yeah.
his contract,
He's got to agree to it.
and then the fact that he's injury prone. He's hardly ever on the court.
Hmm.
The leverage that the Suns have in order to flip him for something substantial is low, in my
Yeah,
opinion. So while I think it's a an okay move, it's just not enough to move the needle, in my opinion, with the Nick Richards trade.
right.
Um, they've got, and you alluded to it earlier, they've got again two superstars in Durant and Book, but they don't have depth in their starting five really,
Yeah,
and then they absolutely don't have any depth coming off the bench.
yep,
So they've just got too many holes in my opinion
yeah,
for this to really make a difference for the trajectory of their season.
yeah.
If they're able to move Bradley Beal, maybe throw in some draft picks. I was trying to look
I
up.
don't know what they have left. I
Yeah, I was
don't
gonna
think they
say I
have
was
anything.
trying to look up what
They
they
gave
had.
up a few for this trade, a couple
Yeah.
seconds, and a
Um,
swap later on. I think 2031.
yeah. So it might be a
They
tough
just got to play
sledding for
better,
that
man.
team.
That's what it's coming down to. They just got to play better. They got this. This is what it is. And I mean, I know that the GMs always are trying to make a move. If you're gonna make a move for Bill right now, you either need to send him for a bunch of guys who are making more than they should be, but on expiring contracts, so that at the end of the season you could choose to keep them or choose to let them walk at a different number, or or something like that. Like that to me would be the get multiple players to match the salaries. Like you could probably get 3, 4 role players
You
for
probably could.
Bradley
Yeah.
Beal,
Yeah.
and I think that's the direction that they should go and get a bunch of guys because they don't have any draft picks. They don't have any money opened up to sign anyone in free agency. So this is what it is. Like and the only way you're going to get better is to play better. Or if you get this guy off your team, it's got to be for multiple players, not just Jimmy Butler or
Yep.
one of these guys that's going to be asking for out, Kyle Kuzma or Jordan Poole or one of these guys. You're going to really need a haul.
Yeah.
I think that they can get something like that if they try to look for it.
Yeah. Yeah. A Hall is right, and Book is still young. He's got he still has time in this league. Kevin Durant, who knows?
Yeah,
For all we know, we
this
know
could
how
be
much
it.
Kevin Durant loves to play video games and smoke weed. So,
Yeah,
it might be a situation where after his contract's up, he's like, "Hey,
I got money. Like
yeah,
I'm
like
cool with it.
it is what it is," and kind
I
of
won
move
a
on.
championship. I've been an MVP.
Yeah,
I'm like something top 20 or whatever, all time scoring. Like I had a good career, and that's how he'll look at it. He'll talk about it after he's done. Like,
he
yeah, I got
definitely
nothing
will.
to be sad about. Like I made my money. I won a championship,
Yep.
and I was the league MVP one year,
Yeah.
scoring titles, everything. Like he's done it all. So if he
Yeah.
does, but this is a tall task for
Did
the front office of the Suns for sure.
When they made the Durant trade, I can't remember. What were your thoughts on that trade? Like, did you think it would work?
I thought him and Book together would be enough scoring, but they had to surround them with the right type of people. And I think that the Bradley Beal trade is what really set them back. Like, I just think, yeah, he's going to give you a few balloon games, like a few dynamite games where he blows up and has 28 or something like that. But that's just not who he is anymore to give you consistent 20s a game
Yep.
anymore. So, what you're paying versus what he's producing is just not. It wasn't a good trade. So, and now you can't move him. So,
Yeah.
and you're down several draft picks, like several, and that's where it is. Like you don't have, there's not a lot of options of ways to get better for
Yeah.
them, and
Yeah.
that's where they're
Exactly.
worried. It's like you have to trade this guy, and he ain't getting traded unless he says so, to where he says so. So you don't even have any leverage, no control. It's a tough situation for that
Yeah.
front
They're
office.
they're in a bad spot.
But shout
Um.
out to Nick Richards, man. He's a good player. 8 points, 7 rebounds. 56% from the field. He, he should be able to make a little bit of noise with those
y-
guys, and he's gonna get no attention. So he should be able to, benefit from that for sure.
yes. And just to piggyback off that, and we'll move on. I don't want to come off as saying, or I don't want it to seem like we're like trashing him. I just
No,
don't think for a team that has championship aspirations, he's going to come in and do his job and do his job
for
well.
sure,
I just, I think we both agree that he's just not
not
the
enough.
person who's going to move the needle
Yeah,
where people are going to look at that team and say, hey,
yeah,
this is a title contender now.
exactly. And now you've exhausted even more draft capital that you could have used in this trade for Bradley. Like I don't know what they have left in
Yeah.
the tank for picks. I don't think it's much over the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So they had like there's no first rounders. I know that, and they're selling off seconds too to get guys out of there. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough
Yeah.
fix. And then now you're a game below 500 too. We are halfway through this thing now. So asking this team to completely turn up right now is gonna be
Yeah.
tough. It's gonna
At,
be tough. Somebody's got to take it to the next level. Like
at,
Book got to start averaging 70 points a game. Like that's what's going on right now.
at this point, like you said, we're plus or minus halfway through the season.
Yeah,
This is the team. Like
yeah,
this is their identity. This is who they are.
yeah,
So unless, like you said, Book and KD start averaging 97 points combined a game,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't see anything coming of this. Real quick,
yeah.
um, do do the Sun make the playoffs?
No, I don't think so. I don't even think they get in this play. And I think as it sits right now is how it sits. I think that maybe San Antonio's up and down. I think that as the season goes on, they're getting better. They can make some moves, but I don't see who they pass. Like I mean, Sacramento could fall off. The Warriors are kind of turning it back on again. Minnesota's figuring it out. Luca will come back for Dallas, so that's your
Mhm.
play in. Lakers are, are in the 6, Clippers in the 5, Denver in the 4. Like they're not going to catch up with these guys. All of them are 6, 7 games ahead of them. Or the Lakers are like what 3 games ahead of them. All those guys that I just listed, and then you get to Denver where they got 24 wins. So I don't think they could get through it. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why this is so tough because you're all right. So you're in a lottery now. Do you have a pick? Mm-hmm. Like it's
One
tough.
last one last question. Do you think there's any universe, any dimension where they look to move Kevin Durant?
If he asks, I think that they could. I think if
You
he,
don't think they would go out and shop him though?
I don't think they'll shop him. I think that if he requests a trade as they, get to, somewhere, but I don't think he's going to quit on them. I think he'll just take it. But yeah, I think that if he requests to get out of there, then yeah, they're going to move him. I don't
Fair
know
enough.
where. I don't know for who. He might go. I mean, Golden State could be it. Like, we're going to talk about that. But yeah, that he could just go back there, right or wrong that he made.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
things.
He
I feel like
absolutely
things
should
would
have
have been
never
so
left.
different
But
had he just
yeah,
stayed there. Had he just stayed, things would have been so different. Like the entire league,
yeah, exactly.
everything would be different if he just stayed. They got 3 more championships, all that. Like, it would have been crazy.
Yeah. So you alluded to it. Golden State Warriors and their superstar Steph Curry. After defeating the Timberwolves the other night or last night, Steph Curry said, shut up to people like you and me and all the people on Twitter that they don't need to make a huge splash in the dirt before the trade deadline or anything like that. He doesn't want to mortgage the future of the Warriors for short term, trying to push to win a championship this
Right.
year. Mike Dunleavy Jr., he's the GM over there. It sounds like they still are pursuing a trade.
Yeah.
But if you're Mike Dunleavy Jr. or if you're the GM of this team, are you trying to make that splash move? Are you trying to bring in a superstar? Are you trying to do something to hopefully propel this Warriors team to another championship this year, next year, maybe the year after, within the next few years?
It
Um,
depends for me, like who the player is. Like if it's Durant, sure. Like sell out and get him paired back up with Steph, and then just work with the moving parts that you have remaining. I wouldn't make that move for like a Jimmy Butler
I agree.
or another guy, another one of these aging stars, like in their 30s. I wouldn't do that. I think that I think Mike Dunleavy. It's a tough decision, and I wouldn't want to have his job right now. And your star player is telling you like, "Yo, give us some time. We're figuring it out." So he's on the court, Steph. So, but you got to also see that we're a 500 basketball team. We're just barely in the play-in playoff discussion.
Yep.
I would like to get someone who could help us really, push forward and propel us to in the main playoff field at 6 and start winning a lot of these games. They've lost a lot of close games.
They have.
The Spurs. They've lost a lot of close. Not the Spurs. The Warriors. A lot of close games. So I think that that's something that he's got to think about for sure, Mike Dunleavy. And I think that I don't know, as far as the star, like I said, I don't think that they should swing for everyone. There's certain players, but just like Phoenix, like I was saying about them, I think that there's some complimentary players out there that you could, get for, not too much for a guy who's just on your bench. I think that Kuminga is a huge trade target. Like a team that's rebuilding would definitely want him, and you could use him to get maybe a more refined player, someone who's a little farther along in their career, and knows about how to win exactly and how to approach the game. So that's a piece. He's a piece that they can use moving forward, going into the trade deadline
Yeah.
to maybe bolster their bench or even get a high level starter. I'm not sure what the Kings are doing. I'm not sure what the Blazers are doing. All these guys, even the teams that are below them, I don't know if everybody's ready to sell off. Like Utah is a very interesting team. Nor New Orleans, I'm sure they want some relief. So can you steal a Trey Murphy? Can you steal a Herb Jones? Can you get your hands on a Jose Alvarado or something like that,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
one of these bench guys? Listen, I mean Zion will be a dream come true, but you got to do so much. And then what has Zion showed us
Exactly.
about winning. He's like the most unserious player in the league right now. Like my
Yes.
dog missed the airplane, the team plane to a game and got suspended for it. This was after he did all these windmill dunks in one game and then put in PTO the next day. Like that's crazy to me. Like that's wild. So like
Yeah.
he's got to get serious. I've never seen somebody trying to get fired so bad. But yeah, that's an option, but I don't think it's realistic. I think that team is one that you could look to gut. You could look to see Malcolm Brogdon out there in Washington. That's a player older, but he's been on winning teams. He knows how to win. Uh, Portland's got some young kids up there, but you could see Robert Williams maybe. I don't know. Get someone who could help you, and play with the starters. It doesn't have to be a starter.
So let me ask you this before I give you my response.
Okay,
You've got Steph Curry, obviously. You've got Draymond. You've got Dennis Schroeder. You've
I
got
like him.
I
That
like
was
him
a good
too.
trade. That was a real
Um,
good trade.
you got Gary Payton. Um, you got Buddy Hield. Like you have some players,
Yeah,
but what do and the Warriors were great to start the
early
year.
on. Yeah, early on.
What who or not specific player? What position do they need in order to potentially bolster that roster and really get them going for the second half of the season?
You mentioned a lot of guards. Now Gary Payton Jr. or Gary Payton II, I like him as a defender. I like him as uh, you know, just a great role player. But he doesn't have exactly the height. I think you got to look for somebody who's got some more height, some more length out there on the perimeter, like another wing. Everybody needs wings. You know how I feel
Yep,
about this.
yep, yep.
And then if you can't get that, because like I said, you listed a lot of good guards and guys who play similar, but they need good screeners. They need good wing defenders because how do you play? You got Buddy Hield and Steph, excuse me, and Schroeder. This guy, he loves the pick and roll game. Like that is where he thrives. So yeah, Draymond sets great screens, but like he can't play the whole game. And not, there are guys in the league who will be just really good at that. So like I said, there's complementary pieces that you could go out there and get. And the Knicks are shopping Jericho Sims. I actually do not hate that for the Warriors. He's a high flyer. He's got great athleticism, great feet as a defender. Like he was. You watched last night, Knicks Sixers?
No, I didn't
Did you
watch
see
that
when
game.
so he had Maxi out beyond the 3-point line. Maxi's making him dance, but he's staying in front of him, like sliding his feet, getting in front of him, stop, sends him back, and
Yep.
Maxi ends up just getting rid of it. So he's a good defender, but with Mitch coming back, his minutes aren't going to be there. They have another young rookie that they drafted from Germany, Ariel Hagporti. So like his minutes are, some nights he starts, and some nights he's just completely out of the rotation. So I think that they could use him in the rotation. Throw that man lobs. Let him get rebounds for you on offense and defense, and let him be a perimeter defender in the West, where there is a lot of really talented bigs in
Yeah.
the starting lineups and coming off the bench. There's a lot of really good bigs, and I think that could be something that could help them for a low cost. I don't think the Knicks are even giving, they're not even going to charge that much, a second round pick or something like that. So yeah, that's a good option for them. Just complimentary players like Steph. I agree with Steph. You don't have to swing big, but if that Kevin Durant something like that comes available, you got to at least make the call, see what it costs, and do what's best for your team after that.
So my first thought when I you put it in the show notes and I listened to him post game,
Right.
I think it's so admirable because you see somebody like LeBron
Mm-hmm.
who would move hell and high water to get the player or make that splash move
Absolutely.
before the trade deadline to and in the
Absolutely.
attempt to win a championship.
He's F them drag picks, as he so eloquently said.
Exactly.
He don't care about it.
Whereas Steph is like, I think Steph understands that while he's still a good player in this league, he's not Steph Curry of 4 or 5
Yeah.
years ago, right?
Not carrying the load.
So the way that he's seeing it is, let's not give up something crazy. Let's not give up 3 or 4 first round picks to bring somebody in
Right.
who, on a roster on a team where we're 500. Um, let's use those picks to draft well. To maybe we can get an established player in free agency or
Yeah.
something
And
like
at that
that.
spot, you're gonna be what, 12, 13, 14. Like if you miss the playoffs, you're got an opportunity to get a really solid player in a very deep draft coming in this year.
Exactly.
Very deep draft coming in of quality role players gotten perhaps potential stars. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of stars at the top, Cooper Flag,
Yep.
Ace Bailey, some other guys, but you could really get some quality players that you could stick right in your rotation right now
Absolutely.
and out of this college field. The transfer portal and that extra COVID year, you got kids, they're coming in. They're 22, 23,
They're coming in
24.
ready. Yeah.
Some of these guys. So I would look at that part of the draft. That's where you look to rebuild. So I would, yeah, like I'd be hesitant. Like I am hesitant to trade the pick for this year because anything you do is going to cost you that pick
Absolutely.
or anything they do at this point. And I think Steph knows that, and that's why he's like, no, no, no. Like let's see where we finish. Let's see how we put this thing together, and if anything, we just draft and develop, like Cash Watkins said.
Yeah. And I mean, the other part of the equation for me is, again, Steph Curry's been very good this year. Has he been at the level 5 years ago? No.
No,
Um, I am also of the belief that Steph Curry is no longer that bona fide superstar who can carry a team.
yes,
So
I agree.
can can Steph win another championship? Yes, but I don't think it comes with him as captain of the ship, so to speak.
No, yeah,
Like he can be 1A, he can be the second option, the third option, and honestly, like make big impact plays, whether it's with the Warriors or elsewhere.
yeah,
But I don't think he's the piece. I mean, let me rephrase. I was going to say I don't think he's the piece you build around. I think you can build around him, but
right, right,
you need you need somebody who can shoulder the load of the majority of the season.
yeah.
The big moments in the playoffs and things like that.
Absolutely. Plus
Steph is going to show up.
the supplementary parts too. That, like I said, you need good screeners. This guy is moving nonstop
Yeah,
around the court, so you need good screeners. You need, for those pin downs, for those, when he's running baseline like that, and you need smart players, guys who that
100%.
offense is like the motion offense of the NBA. That's what everybody's running now. Steve Kerr changed the game. Shout to him. But that's what I mean. Like you got to get players that fit because like he has been a player that you could put it. He's a unanimous MVP. Of course, he was a player. Put it on your back. Put it on his back. However, through those years where he was winning those MVPs, he needed other guys to do what they
100%.
do so that he can have success. So I think that has to be the focus for Mike Dunleavy. Like, how do I help Steph be more Steph? I think who's out there that can help us play the way we play better? That's the goal that they need to accomplish. I know Brown is just up in Rob Palenka's office every day, like, yo, call Dunleavy, see what they're doing over there, like, see if they're like trying to rebuild or something, like, just call them.
Is there any chance Steph plays for another franchise?
That's really hard to say. Like, I don't. That's the thing. I think he'd be fine with it. I don't think that the Warriors would do it because unless he completely fell off the ship as far as his play. But I don't think that's going to happen because he has the most, he has the ability to shoot like that, and that you can retain that. Like you can anytime, like you always need a shooter in this league, especially a 3-point shooter when they're taking 50, 60 a game, and he's the best ever to do it. So it's no, they're not going to do it.
Yeah, no, I
It's
I
hard
mean,
to say, Gil. It's hard to say because like you're looking at where they're at. They're like, I know they don't want to be middle of the road. I know that's not cool with Draymond. I know that's not cool with Steph. But then you got them believing that they're better than this.
yeah.
So it's the job. This is why Bob Myers was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do TV because
I
he
mean, I
he didn't want to have to figure this stuff out.
I wasn't asking, like, I don't think Golden State would ever trade him.
All right,
Um, but I don't think they would trade him like without his consent. If he went
right,
there and he was like, "Hey, I really don't think this is a championship roster. Like, if you trade me, you can get, you know, a haul. You can get draft picks. You can get whatever."
facts.
Um, I could see that, or at the end of his contract, if he still wants to play,
Yeah,
goes
last
someplace
year if he's
else.
still going.
Yeah, Golden State isn't going to say, "Hey, we don't want Steph Curry and
Yeah,
trade him."
exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to be that situation. But I don't see him playing anywhere else either. Same, him and Draymond, I think are. I mean, we
I
love
think
the Draymond.
Draymond's easier to move than Steph is at this point, to be honest with you. I mean, the number is the number, but you
Easier in what
always
sense?
what's that?
Easier in what sense?
It's easier in the sense of like, yeah, you're gonna take Steph, but the haul you're gonna have to. I don't think you got to give back as much for Draymond,
Oh, no, I agree with that.
money wise, and player wise, because you got to match the money. We know how the trades work,
Yep,
so I think that you could match, you can get the salaries, and then people will be. There's some players I'm sure that there'd be less. It wouldn't like keep them up at night to let them go. For a player like Draymond, who yes is at the end of his road, but when he comes here, he tries to help me win, and we do it or we don't, and then I got 40 million off my books or 30 million, however much he's making, and they just let him go. I think
yep,
that a lot of teams, because the apron, this first and separate second apron, a lot of these owners they don't want to be in it. Even though Dolan, like he dished out a lot of money for OG and a lot of picks for Bridges, and then they extended Brunson, and I mean he's throwing money around. But then as a result of that, there was like they had Marcus Morris in the helm, like to help out
yep,
their bench. But
yep.
once you get Bridges, now you're like way over the apron. So they couldn't sign Bridges or Morris. And then they got TJ Warren. He's sitting down there in the G League because I was reading the story. They can't bring him up until like a certain time. So
Yep.
they got to wait till like March 6th or something like that to bring him up. My man's is averaging like 40 in the G
Yeah,
League.
he's
It's
been going
crazy.
crazy.
He's been going crazy. So and Marcus Morris just went to kind of do his own thing, because the money wasn't going to make sense. So that's where these owners, these general managers, I think they have assignments like, yo, do not go too far over. And if we're there, let's start making a plan to get below it. And
Yeah,
I think that, yeah, that's going to affect this trade deadline for sure.
fair enough. Fair enough. Um, mentioned it before. Trade
Yes.
deadline is I think February 8th, February 6th. I forget. Beginning of February, and then shortly thereafter we have the All-Star game.
Yes.
All-Star voting is in full swing currently,
Full swing.
and the third returns for the All-Stars are in.
Oh,
Um, are there give me one player. Give me one player that you feel is not getting the love that he should be getting based
yes.
on these third return
Yes. This
voters.
could be a recency bias, right? Because I just went to the Knicks Pistons game where the Pistons beat the Knicks. Um, Cade Cunningham
That's exactly who I had to.
has arrived.
Yes.
This man is like it's been a long time. Like I don't even the last player to torment us in the arena that way was Trey Young.
Trey
Like he
Young.
was the
Yes.
last one to like really like we in there moaning and groaning. Every shot, every floater, every assist to a wide open Malik Beasley hitting like 9 threes. It was just everybody was just moaning and groaning all night. That's what usually hear loud cheers in the Garden.
Yeah.
This time it was just huffing and puffing. Everybody was in a mood. Everybody was in a mood. The way out was crazy, but this man is the whole team. They have surprised me. 21
They,
and 19 right now,
yes. Yes.
firmly in the playoffs. Are in a play-in picture.
What
I
are they
like
like
that
the
kid.
sixth seed?
Yes, they. Excuse me. Hold on. Nope, they're the 7th. They're just a half a game behind Indiana. So I mean I like where they're at. They're ahead of Atlanta. They're ahead of Miami. They're ahead of Chicago. We know Miami's about to get busted up. Um, and Philadelphia, I mean, they could probably sneak back in there at some point if they could just get healthy. But I don't see a team behind them that's going to pass them, and they're
I,
playing really,
they're playing great
really
basketball.
well.
They will
Shout
make
out
the
to JB
playoffs.
Bickerstaff. Yeah,
Yeah.
the numbers are crazy for this guy. 25 points, 6 rebounds, nearly 10 assists, 9.4 assists. Like he is doing everything for them. Uh, they had Jaden Ivey, who was like another point guard for them as well, but a little more explosive, a little
Yep.
more of just like a scoring type point guard. He got injured. I'm not sure if he's going to return this season, but yeah, man, in his absence, Malik Beasley's really stepped it up. Tim Hardaway Jr., like I didn't see this coming for this team, but they got all the right veterans in there. with those young players.
Yep.
Like a Tobias Harris, journeyman. He's been on winning teams on the East Coast, West Coast,
Yep.
everybody. He's a and they got him in there. They got Malik Beasley. We all know about him. Like he's a journeyman, and we know they got that ratchet. Like
Yeah.
he can shoot it, and that's what they need with a player like Cade, who's ball dominant, but he's gonna make the right play.
Yep.
So if you hit shots, you're gonna eat.
Didn't didn't Cade have like 20 something assists the other night? Triple
Yo,
double?
he had a triple double with like I think it was 19 assists. I think
Yeah.
so. But yeah, he's cooking, man. He's cooking, and I think it's what offends me the most is there's two things that offend me the most. It's the amount of votes that he has. He only has like just over half a million, so 582,617 votes, and this is with less than a month to go into the All-Star game. And honestly, the people ahead of him, some of them, like, of course, yeah, I would think Brunson should be there, but I feel like he's having a better season than Tyrese Maxey. Trae Young is doing his thing, but I would put him ahead of Trae Young. He's making a bigger impact for his team, and his team is better.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, you could give it to him. Of course, he's a huge major star. The fans are going to show him love. And LaMelo Ball has only played, like, I don't even know, like 15 games or something like that. But, he's an internet celebrity,
Yeah,
so they're going to
LaMelo Ball, like that's very much a
that's
fan thing.
frustrating to me. Yeah, because Cade's out here every night. He's beat the injuries and all those things that were keeping him out his first few years in the league,
Yep.
and now he's here and he's making a lot of noise. So I just want people to know, man, Cade Cunningham has arrived. Like,
And that
yes, LaMelo, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, but I mean, come on, like how many games? 26 games, 26 of what? 40 games they've
yeah.
played. Come on, that's not enough.
Yeah,
That's not enough.
Cade's definitely taken steps. And I was looking at some of his stats, and
Yeah,
he's like a GM's coach's dream because he's
absolutely.
gotten better each and every year.
Every year,
Points, assists, rebounds, field goal
everything else.
percentage, 3-point percentage. Like
He's got career
he,
highs and everything right now.
he's gotten better each and every year.
Yep.
And you know, these Detroit Pistons have not seen the playoffs, I think, in like
That
7
Blake
years.
Griffin year, that last Blake Griffin year where he didn't play, but they made it when he was on the team. They did him dirty though, but yeah, that's what cursed them. That's why they've
It
been out
probably
since then.
is. I mean,
Yeah,
Detroit got a bunch of curses. They did Barry
yeah,
Sanders wrong. They
yeah.
did Calvin Johnson wrong. So like,
Chauncey Billups.
it I
The
yeah. Yeah.
I want Detroit dudes coming after us. You know what I'm saying? They
Uh,
hard out there. They hard.
but
Detroit, we don't want no problems.
but yeah, it seems like that's another one of the teams that has built the team correctly. Just like roster configuration, chemistry, everything. And yeah, for the last 4 or 5 years, it's been tough. Like
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine being a Detroit Piston fan. Like I
not
wouldn't
at
be going
all.
to games, anything like that. But
Not at
now
all.
we're starting to see the fruits of their labor. And they're, like I said, they're going to make the playoffs
Oh yeah.
barring an injury,
I do not want to see
particularly
them in the
to
playoffs.
Cade or anything like that.
Do not want to
Um,
see them in the playoffs. They're a horrible matchup for the Knicks. Young, athletic guys, like, like our guys are like in NBA terms. Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, all these guys, Bridges, like they're middle age
yeah,
in the NBA in their late 20s. These guys are like 10 and 17 and like mad young. Like Amen Thompson, I don't even think can legally drink. Like he's, it's there's a lot. There's
yeah.
a lot, and I don't want to see him. So get to the player, y'all. But we don't want. Just stop it there because
We
I
don't
don't
want
need
no
that.
problems.
I don't want no problems. I want the Pacers in the first round. Knock them out. Give me whoever after that. Maybe Boston. I'll take them. I'll take Boston. I'll take Cleveland. I'll take anybody. Anyone with Carl
Um,
Anthony.
but yeah, I mean, um, I do like to see that Cade is starting to get his flowers, and I
Absolutely.
mean, part of it is the fact that the team is better, So
Yeah.
now they're gonna, like I said, I think we both agree they're gonna make the playoffs. Get to the playoffs. Now they're on the big stage. Now you've
Yes.
got all the eyes on you in a
Yeah.
primetime game, and
Yeah.
people are really going to see just how good Cade Cunningham is.
Absolutely. He is a different type of player. Like his the three ball is where he's most improved.
Yeah,
That he is consistent with that shot. He's not taking a ton of them, but he's making them when he takes them.
yeah.
And yeah, man, they are a fearful team. That I am fearful of them. Out of the West, I got one gripe, okay?
Okay.
Especially after last night. This man nearly decapitated an alien on live television. It didn't count.
It didn't count.
But they got Ja at seventh. Like, this is what I was worried about, bro. When he got into all them shenanigans that like people were gonna fall off and forget about him. Not a lot of people are having a better season right now
He's been
than Ja
phenomenal.
Morant.
He's been
So
phenomenal and low-key
yeah,
under the radar.
yeah, and their team is they're killing in the West.
Yeah,
The Memphis is killing in the West.
yeah.
They're third in the West, just behind Houston, who's another sleeper team. But like, yeah, we gotta get right with Ja, man. Get yourself right with Ja. All y'all, all of y'all. They're really making a lot of noise, man. I'm trying to get that right. I want to see what's going on. Like Ja, I mean, the 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. But it's like I want to find his plus minus because it's probably like plus 1 million. When he's on the court, I watch them all the time on League Pass. I got the NBA app.
Yep.
That is like my team. If the Knicks are on my big TV, I put them on my iPad. Like
It's
that
funny. It's funny that you have a team every year.
every
Like
year, yo,
aside from the
and they
Knicks,
be
you'll have
cooking.
a team.
Yeah, like last year it was the Orlando Magic, remember?
Yeah.
And then the
Before
year
that,
before
it was
that,
the
it was the
Kings.
Sacramento Kings. I
Yep.
called it. Called it. They were like a 4 seed. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, called them. Who was it before that I called? I don't remember who it was, but somebody. I think it was the Knicks before that. And then we do what we do. But that's beside the point. John Morant, my man got less than 500,000 votes, bro. We got to get this up. We got to pump these numbers up. Those little boy numbers, 430,295 votes. Fans, what are y'all watching? Did you see that jawbreaker last night? I know it didn't count, but fire up your YouTubes right now. Fire up those TikToks before they get rid of it. And look at Ja nearly decapitate a 7'5" Frenchman that they call an alien. You must. You must.
So to answer your question, John Morant's, I mean, I was trying to find like the league, but his plus minus is plus 179
Come
this
on.
year.
Winner. A winner.
Yeah.
A winner. When he's on the court, Jared Jackson loves it. Ask him if he likes having Ja around. He's like, yo, this is great. I'm averaging a career high. It's like I'm eating. Yeah, they're a really good team. I like how they're playing. They are 1,000%, as you said, under the radar.
Yeah.
1,000%. And you know what? I'm gonna say something because when the season started or when we ended last season, like I was very, very, very critical of this player, Zach Edey, coming out of
You
Purdue.
were. You
I
were.
was very critical of him. I didn't think he'd have the foot speed. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the things he's doing. He's averaging a block a game. He's leading the team in rebounds per game. He's given them great minutes, and he's played. He's had dealt with some injuries, but he's played half the season, like 27 games. Like he's doing his thing. So I want to shout out him, man. He's doing that they got a really bright future in Memphis. Really bright
They
future.
do. They really, really do. Ja stay out of trouble, stay healthy.
They gotta get Marcus Smart out of there though. That's another. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like
Yeah.
if Marcus Smart might be a good trade for Bradley Beal because his bread is up there like that. His money's up there like that. So you go Marcus Smart,
That
Brandon
wouldn't be
Clark,
bad. That
flip
wouldn't be
that for
bad.
Beal
Yeah.
or something like that. Like they could get a guard and a forward there. I think that would be a good play for them. I'm just looking. I wanted to swing back to that. I'm looking at their roster. And I'm trying to figure it out. Like they're deep. They got that Cam Spencer kid. They got a lot. They got a lot of players. Scottie Pippen Jr.
You know,
They got a lot of players that are that Luke Kennard's still there. I think he's
they're deep, man.
they're
They're
shopping
deep.
them. They're a very deep team. They're a very deep team. So I think that you could definitely sacrifice a few bodies to get somebody in there who fits better with what you got going on and really make that late season push.
Um, question: What would you give? What would you give for a championship?
What
The
would I get?
Yeah,
Like
the Eagles are legitimate Super Bowl contenders.
yes,
Your Knicks trending in the right, our Knicks trending in the
yes,
right direction, but their last championship was before
years
either one
ago.
of us was born.
That's the one I want more. Like I know the Eagles. Like I've seen
The
one.
Nick, yeah, the Eagles won recently.
Yeah, they won in 2017. I
Yeah.
saw it with my own two eyes. I celebrated for 3 days straight. The only thing I didn't do was go to the parade. If they win this year, we are 1,000% going
So
to the parade.
what would you give for Knicks championship? I know you wouldn't give up baby cash. You wouldn't give up
No,
your firstborn.
like
But like,
outside of
what
my
would you give?
family, like I wouldn't like give up my family members or my kid, like anybody like that. But literally anything else. Like I don't even have a car right now. I'm waiting for this insurance thing to work out.
Yeah.
But if I had a car, I'd give it up. If they said, "Yo, you're gonna be at Game 6 in the finals when the Knicks win" or something like that, like I'd give up everything. I would be homeless. I would live on the streets of New York if it meant that I could see
In
a
this
Knicks
weather?
championship in this weather. I don't even care. I would bundle up. I would blanket up. I would do it, man. I would do anything, anything
All
because
right.
it's something. It's hard to explain. Like people are like they think the Knicks fans are just so fanatical and like so like we're crazy. We're like energetic,
Fanatics.
enthusiastic about our team for sure. Even though they haven't been the greatest, but that to see that and it's the way that it all has come together. Like we went from David Fizdale, like a coach who
Yeah.
was like completely out of his mind, like didn't know how to do anything as a head coach right. Even when he head coached at Memphis, and they were all right, but he couldn't do anything right with the Knicks. Jeff Hornacek, Derek Fisher, Kurt Rambis. Like, listen, these are coaches. I'm not talking about players. These are our coaches. And then Phil Jackson just literally tanking Carmelo's career like right before our eyes. We survived all that to get right here this close, yo. And what's really evident, and I have I got the season ticket package. We're there a lot. So what's apparent in the post game interviews, like the players are so aware of how bad we want it, and like yeah, it's a lot of pressure on them, sure, but like it drives them. When we're going nuts in there, you could see Josh Hart moving a little bit faster now than he was in the third. You could see Brunson, he's raising up higher on that jumper than he was in the third. All these things like there's so many things. Cat just going physically, boom, through people, like trying to their effort increases. I feel like we're all in it together. So I would give anything. I would
Okay.
give anything.
Anything besides family.
If it meant that guarantees a championship, I will give anything. I will live on the streets of New York in this sub 30-degree temperature, and it would be I'll hustle my way back into a crib somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they were like, get out of this house right now, you guarantee the deal. We're like, all right, where my coat at?
Yeah. That's
That's it.
valid. That's
I'll be in
valid.
the subway with Jimmy Fallon and Bad Bunny being like,
Yeah.
yo, Jimmy Fallon was going crazy with that tambourine.
Yo,
What was that, like a shaker? He's like, he was hitting that. I'm like, Jimmy, chill. Even Bad Bunny was looking at him like, okay, Poppy, calm down, calmate.
yo.
That was crazy. I wish I was there for that though. That's probably wow.
That's
Just
funny.
in the subway out of nowhere, Bad Bunny start performing, dog, for free.
Yo, that's
Come
why
on,
you love New York City, man. Any day, anytime you could run into
anytime.
something.
Yeah,
Something.
man. Everything. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Um,
Everything is happening. The city never sleeps.
never sleeps. Never lost. LeVar
Never
Ball, by
lost.
the way.
Shout out to them. Man, hey, I'm in
LeVar
hit.
Ball is 3 for 3 in my book.
3 for 3,
For
bro.
3 in my book. He got two
Exactly.
kids in the NBA and one that
Yeah,
just signed a deal with Def Jam.
yeah. His
8
boys
million
rap
guaranteed.
and play ball like they chose it. You know what I'm saying? Like he ushered them to that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's the best. Yo, I'm telling you. And that's what I'm saying. Like I'll be looking around at these NIL deals, bro, and I'm telling you, I'll be whispering to my son, like, yo, we just need this scholarship. I don't care if you go to the league. They're giving out 500,000, 350K for kids going to regular schools, bro, a
Yep.
year. Like VCU, my sister's alma mater, they're paying their basketball players 350K per recruit, bro.
Wild.
That's wow. I didn't know their bread was like that.
Yeah. Fact.
That's like 350K.
Yo,
Okay, Richmond.
you get these boosters, these alumni, and they're like, "Yo,
Yep.
I want to see
Yeah.
our program back in prominence."
How much to win?
Exactly.
We got a checkbook and
Exactly.
say like, how much to win? Yeah, a couple million. All right.
Yo, and it's
That's
just
it.
like that.
It's
Fast,
just like
quick.
that. How much to win?
Real quick before we get out of here,
Yes.
um, Unrivaled tips
Oh
off
yes.
tomorrow night, Friday, January
Very
17th.
excited.
I know you've been locked in to the college football playoffs,
Oh
Ohio
yeah,
State on
Ohio
Monday.
State. I got big things happening.
I know you've been locked into the NFL playoffs with the
Oh yeah.
Eagles. I know you've been locked in all season NBA with the Knicks.
Oh,
Are you going to carve out some time this weekend? There's games
absolutely.
on Friday, Saturday, Monday. I think Tuesday next week as well. You gonna tune in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, like I always got two screens on me. I always keep that thing on me. What this iPad right here? I keep that thing on me. So wherever I'm at, you know, we can bust the iPad out. As long as you got Wi-Fi, we up on it. You know, I got
That's it.
YouTube TV, that's mobile. You know what I mean? So we everywhere with it. And I'm just excited to see, especially the players that are involved in this. I'm excited to see like you know a lot of a lot of the players. Dejanay, excited to see Angel. Excited to see a lot of these players, man. Everybody, Stu, like
Yeah,
everybody involved. And I love the teams, like the separation, like the team. There's some teams that got teammates playing against each other. Like this is
yep.
gonna be cool.
It's gonna be
Uh,
dope. Yeah,
yeah, man, and they've really done a great job promoting it and a great
yeah,
job getting it out there everywhere and making it something that's like an event to see.
yes,
And I'm just excited for these ladies, man. Keep them over here. Said stop sending
absolutely.
them over there overseas. Like this is our talent. Let's keep our talent here and let's support it and make sure that they could do their thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna carve out some time to watch the ladies hoop it up.
yeah. It's the beginning of something incredible. Like you said, keep our women here, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
3-on-3 full court.
full
The
court.
court's a little smaller than
Yes,
a regular court, but full court regardless. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited because we've got 36 of the best players in the world
yep.
going at it. They in the middle of the season they've got a one-on-one tournament, which I feel like we've been begging for in the
Begging for
NBA
that. I
forever.
want them to do that. Yeah, that's where All Star
So
Game needs to go with it. Hopefully
I'm
they can show
excited.
some things though too. Like this is, I think that's what it is. This is going to be an opportunity because they're swinging, doing their own thing. So this is going to be a chance for the other leagues to like copy. Like, oh yeah, this
Yeah,
actually works. You get to gauge, the interest in it and everything like that. So yeah, I'm really excited for these ladies, and yeah, man, I'm hyped. I can't wait to get back in there, do the Connecticut Sun games again, all that. But in the
absolutely.
meantime, in between time, this is going to be a fun time for sure.
Yes. Real quick, Ohio State, Notre Dame, who wins
Ohio
and
State.
score?
Ohio State by I want to say let's give them 13. I think it's close, but a play is made late that kind of pulls it away. So Ohio State, let's call it 27-14.
Okay, 27
Twenty-seven
14.
fourteen.
Okay, and Eagles Rams. Who you got
Eagles
winning
Rams.
and who much and how much?
Go Birds. The spread is 6. I think they cover it. Um, this is like, I mean, people are trying to hype it up. They got to. It's the playoffs, but this is truly a terrible matchup for the Rams. People are bringing up, oh, the Rams were missing X, Y, Z the last time, bro. We didn't even have Devontae Smith. We didn't have like we were missing guys. Dallas Goddard didn't play together. We were
Yep.
missing guys. We're missing guys this time, but like the way this team is playing, the attitude that the defense is playing with, they body bagged an entire team last week. So I know y'all
Sure
saw that.
did.
Like, miss me with all that. Like, this team is playing with attitude. They are determined. They are intense. Their coach a little quirky, a little weird, but like they like how he falls on the sword for AJ Brown reading the book. He's like, oh man, that's cool. Like, even he'll give a stupid answer so that that's left alone,
Yeah.
and so they
Yep.
get off of AJ. And like he falls on the sword for these guys. Same thing happened during the season with Jalen Carter when he did something silly.
Yep.
Say like he does this, and that's what makes him a player's coach. Like the players like him, and they're clearly going out there and going hard for him. So Eagles, uh, let's go, let's go 34-21.
Okay.
34-21. And I think who Jalen Hurts has a monster game. And I mean like monster in the term of like touchdowns. It might be like 157 yards, but he got 3 touchdowns. Because that is I have to make this clear. I know it's a basketball show, but I have to make this clear. He is doing what he needs to do to win football games. The last time they played the Rams, Saquon ran for the ninth most yards ever in the history of
Yep.
football in an NFL game. The
Yep.
ninth most ever in a single game. So Why would he be throwing it around the yard, putting the ball at risk? His job is to take care of the football,
Exactly.
matriculate the football down the field, and score when we get it. Hit your third downs. Like that's what they're doing. Kellen Moore's doing a great job. Jalen Hurts doing a great job. AJ understands what's going on, and he knows that there's going to be a time where we need him to go out there. Nobody in the league would dare play him one-on-one, so there's going to be tough days. But when they do,
Yeah.
we're going to hit it. And I'm ready, man. So yeah, Rams going. I'm ready to see it, man. I'm ready to get to this thing. Eagles, Lions, or we'll see. Maybe Eagles, Commanders. Who knows? I mean, it would be a cool story to see Lions, Rams in that NFC Championship. Like that would be some spicy, spicy stuff.
It would.
Like storyline wise,
Yeah.
Stafford going back. Like this is where we find out who won the trade. They're gonna play it out on the field, and I think in that matchup, I actually think the Rams win, but they're not beating the Eagles.
Fair enough.
Too many weapons. Oh, quick birthday shouts out to our friends, Nicole Cole and James
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Nicole's
Yes.
us today when we record. Nicole, happy birthday. J. Cole's this weekend.
Yeah.
J. Cole, happy birthday, my dog,
Happy
my brother.
birthday.
Yes, sir. And do I have anything else? I don't know. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Let's get out of here. We got a
All
lot.
right.
We got a lot to get to this weekend, but we
Definitely.
will be back with y'all next week. Again, I'm Johnell. I'm with my guy Matt Price, Cash Walk-In. This is Heat Check powered by Designated Report. We'll be with y'all next week.